Good evening. We're live. All right, take a moment and probably you can share this with someone. I don't know if I'm on Facebook, but I tried to share it out there. This is the represent. Yeah, I'm excited. Okay, awesome. Uh, a good evening to you all, those that are on. Let me check and see this Facebook thing. Sure, I'm on there. Yeah, we're on. Well, I'm asking you to share this broadcast. Um, Excited to have you on here today. The first installment of the Represent. I am guessing that you want to know. Well, first, let me introduce myself to you, reintroduce myself to you. My name is Sion Seeley, and not professing to be a scholar in all things, pretty much in anything, but just a vessel that needs to be used. And I am glad that I can share this forum or platform with you. I am going to try to express to us what this forum is about, what we're going to be doing on here on Wednesdays. And if this, well, this is your first, but if this is the first time you're in a session with me, I'm so thankful that you are. Um, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be representing some main things that we're going to, instead of be pointing fingers and accusing each other, instead of us being divided, the hope for this program and my sincere purpose for this program is for us to come together and find solutions. It is as simple as that. The smallest child will tell you while in school that the teacher, as well, the problem is presented, the solution is asked for. If that solution is prayer, if that solution is fasting, if that solution is crying, if that solution is hugging, whatever is that solution, we're going to present it on this forum. So we're going to represent. It's been a while um, that we've been using words, and more I find myself sharing, teaching, preaching, even in conversation. I find that a lot of us we use words and sometimes we don't recognize what it is that we're actually saying or what it is, this tool that we're given, and that is so powerful. So on this program here, um, we're gonna just try to clear up some misconceptions. Not in myself. I'm gonna be relying on you, and I pray that, and I'm asking for your assistance. I'm asking for any help, anything that you see that we can make this a better program. I'm asking for your assistance, please, in the voice of Myron Wines. um, what else? I first of all want to give honor to God, and please. on this forum, we're going to be discussing, and I know that we will have all manner of people. That's one of the things that I've learned with this medium. Until we are given a forum where it is that we have autonomy, we have total control, we will have all manner of people on. Please be mindful, no profanities, hallelujah. No profanities, I pray. No, no abusing of anyone, and let's keep this clean. We're going to be mindful, respectful of each other. All right? All right, great. So, the represent. What is the represent? As I would have, kind of like, give you a little introduction. This program came about because of a teaching session that I was involved in, and we recognized that there's so many things that was said that the message did not go over the right way. And if you have a product, if you have something that you're trying to sell, and that's another thing. If you're on here and you're an entrepreneur and you're a business person, you can just give a shout out to what it is that you're doing, so that we can, in our way, here at the Represent, try to represent your product and give it some level of credence, notoriety to whoever is on here and the platforms that we're given. So this came about because of, well, I would say, of a session that I was in. And in this session, I recognized that so many things that were said, the things that were said, they were either erroneous or just faulty in its presentation. And so, if you have a product and you would have launched it and didn't go too well, you start over again. You sometimes you pull it back. You do some things, and that's what it is that we're going to be doing here with the represent. Um, what gives us the basis? What gives us the foundation? What gives us that thing that is going to hold us up? What is the base of our interaction with each other? What's the base of our interaction with each other? I purposely wanted to come to you on the first session with a blank screen. Well, as you can see, um, not so black. I got something over my head. I think I did set I did set my camera. Yes, I think I did set that well. And so I wanted to come before you with this blank screen so we could have a blank picture, so to speak, or canvas, a blank page, so that we can start. Um, in representing myself, one of the things that I would have been able to do over the few years in this walk with Christ. First of all, if it is that you don't know, in my representing of myself, hallelujah, and I give praise. That's why I purposely, and please don't get on me if you hear me say hallelujah. Um, I will try to be mindful of everyone that is on here. But I am thankful um, that over the years, in the preparation for this, I would say that I epitomize that statement, that scripture, that verse in the Bible that says that all things that will work together for your good, that will work together for good to them that are called by God, called according to His purpose. And I can attest to the fact, because in representing myself, I can say straight off the bat, without no hesitation, I would tell people that I would be the epitome, I would be the apex of foolishness without the new walk, the new life, the new creation that has been given to me this opportunity. And so, in preparing for this walk, um, I'm going to be steered a few years ago into, I would say, a frame. I would say um, it was a time of relaxation, but then I was troubled in my mind in so many ways, and because I was always an avid reader, or someone that would like to research things and try to get to know things, and so I pondered on a lot, and three things were given to me. And I said they were given to me because there was no way that I get rid of them. There was no way after that so many others would have come. And but these three things I'm going to share with you in the representing. And uh, the first was selfishness will always lead the mass to an impending doom. Selfishness will always lead the mass to an impending doom. But a selfless act is redemptive and posterity assuring. Let me state that again. This was penned in my heart. Selfishness would always lead the mass to an impending doom. But a selfish act is redemptive and posterity assuring. For someone that is on here that may want clarification, I will. And I hope that that you continue to be in this program as we do this weekly. We're going to have guests, probably one of you that are on right now. You might be one that would be invited to be a part of this, and anyone. Yes. So I'm getting very emotional because I want to say that when I recognize that the type of person that I was, I should say, it spoke to me, and I recognize that there is much more. There is much more to be done as a people, and that can start with me. And so, in representing myself, I recognize that this was one of the things that I had to deal with. Selfishness would always lead the mass. Selfishness would always lead the mass to an impending doom. But a selfless act is redemptive and posterity assuring. Secondly, after that, this stuff happened like within days of each other. Secondly, after that, this was also bent in my heart. Where truth is absolute, reasoning and choice becomes irrelevant. Where truth is absolute, reasoning and choice becomes irrelevant. I'm not talking about my truth, I'm not talking about your truth. I'm talking about the truth. Somebody's going to ask. One asked in the Bible. Somebody probably would have asked you also about truth. Where truth is absolute, reasoning and choice becomes irrelevant. Selfless acts will lead us and propel us in the place of posterity. Our generation will benefit from it. But selfishness will lead the mass to an impending doom. A selfless act is redemptive redeems, it brings back. It can represent, yes, it can represent us. And then this was the third of those. You familiarize yourself. You would have heard me use these things, and I stated that you know when it is that this opportunity would have been given, when it is that this would have been done, because this is not notoriety that I'm seeking. Um, I want us to to really get to know each other, get an understanding of each other. Thus, I will be able to properly deal with you, and you will be properly able to deal with me, because I am representing myself, and you will do the same as we get to know each other. But this is what was given the third. You've early familiarized yourself with my physical characteristics, that you've missed my maturation. The maturation here is the spiritual maturation or maturity. And it it was difficult because, as I said, in myself, I'm looking back and I would say that I epitomized, I was the apex, I was the top student for stupidity and foolishness. Um, was first of the class. But with these three things and the Holy Spirit, now, as I said, I'm mindful. This is the introduction, and I'm mindful, but I cannot deny who I am. Now, you may not embrace that. You may not like it. This may cause you to want to turn off, because you may say, "Oh, this is another person trying to brainwash somebody." But I'm just saying, if it is that you can tarry with me just for a while, for a few, give me a few weeks, and let us get to know each other in this new and living way, not in a way that we existed. And I will tell you that existence is the ultimate betrayal of living. So, in this representing, or the represent with Sion, see, I didn't name a pastor this and minister that, just Sion, just me, just this before you. Simple. I'm recognizing that what I would love to do is keep me on cue. Um, that is clean. Um, no, uh, no promoting of anything itself, but we're just gonna get to know each other, right? Is that fair? All right. Thank you so much. So the represent is all about us dealing with matters that is before us, finding a solution to any problem that comes up. We do this together, and we're going to start bettering, or making better, if I should say, for want of a better word. Um, Creating an atmosphere where it is that our environment, if that environment include you and the child, you wife, you family members, let's start there. Let's represent ourselves to each other in a way that we can understand, and in a way that we can get to know each other. When it is that we know each other, then we'll be able to solve the problem we have. Then we will recognize also that your problem now becomes mine, because I recognize that if I'm going to be selfish, if I'm going to go and just take care of me, what happens? The mass is going to be led to an impending doom. But one selfless act is redemptive. It can redeem. It can represent a situation. It is so funny that this same represent carries the notion in the country that I'm from. If you're listening to my accent, I'm from Guyana. Um, and somebody say that I'm going to represent you. To represent you tells me that one, it's something that is you're not capable to do all this on your own. You're not omnipotent, if I may use that word. So you're not all powerful. So I will have to represent you. And erringly, I think that we so much try to represent, not so much being an ambassador, but we try to represent that which is full. And that which is full, or that which is absolute, which means that it encompasses everything. You can't diminish it. You can't take away from it by your attitude towards it. You can't diminish it because you're callous, harsh, mean, disrespectful towards it. You can't add to it because everything it has. So there is nothing that you can say. So when we say that we're representing, for in this case, the absolute one, and I will say God, um, and you would want to say whatever it is that you want, and you find, please don't leave because this we will have discussions. Um, but that which is absolute, no, you cannot diminish it. Which means that you cannot take away from it. You can't add to it because whatever it is that you have has been given to you by it. uh, so because of this, we are now left with a dilemma. So we've been saying for a long time that whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, whether it is that you're a Hindu, that you're representing. But I'm going to tell us believers, Christians, that it may be in our best interest to represent. To represent simply means that you're going to go back and present again. Re tells you of always like going back to the beginning, to the starting of a thing, and present it again. So we're going to represent. This is the nature of this program. So what first I will want us to represent? If I may, I want us to represent that which is absolute. That which is absolute, as I said, cannot be taken away. Anything cannot be taken away from it because of our attitude towards it. You can't add to it because of your attitude towards it either. So it is up to us to have the understanding, the wherewithal to understand that you don't wake up and make that which is absolute absolute. That which is absolute is already absolute. In your selfishness and my selfishness, I can lead the mass to the impending doom. This is who I am, this is how I stay, this is how it's going to be. I saw my mother cutting off the head of the fish, so I'm going to do the same. Only to understand that your mom had to cut the fish in half. Can't make the whole fish because at that time she had a tiny ice box. You now gotta walk in, so to speak, refrigerator or refrigeration system, and you're still cutting it because you saw that. The same manner you were told that it's imperative to you for you to act right. There's something on the inside that's telling you act right, be the right person now, do the right thing. Some of us were told you have to go to church. You have to go to mosque. You have to go to the temple and all these things. And until you would have had that experience or with that which is absolute, and in this case, I'm saying God, until you would have had that experience, there's always going to be us trying to act. And that's why I said, where truth is absolute, our reasoning and choice becomes irrelevant. Now, you can reason whatever it is that you want based on your as I told you, I'm from Guyana, and let's say that I call Guyana the, the pleasure spot, or the place of bliss. Let just say that. And then I say somebody is from Africa, and they say, well, this is the place of joy, not just bliss, but this is the place of complete joy. Or somebody may say terror, or whatever it is. Now, wherever it is that you're from, you can be influenced by that, but it does not take away from that which is absolute. No, you can make a decision to make a choice. You could even want to reason, but it does not diminish that which is absolute. And that's where it is that I'm starting from here today. That's where it is that I'm starting from here today. Um, for those that are all here that are believers, the Bible tells us in the book of Genesis, this is how it is that it starts. It says, the book of beginning that I believe in, it says that in the beginning, God, in the beginning, God. And that there's an introduction to me. I don't know what it is that you will call it. So whether it is that you take your Big Bang theory to be your beginning, it doesn't matter how far you go, evolution, it doesn't matter where it is that you go, you would always recognize that there was something that was outside of that. And if that which is outside of that which is created, then it, to me, and we can represent this premise here, or this topic, we can ask the question then, it has to be greater than that which is created. Because in order for you to be outside of what it is that is going to be done, then you have to be bigger than that thing. So when I look at myself and I look at where it is that I came from, not because values and stuff weren't instilled into me, but then it had to have been represented to me. Now let me clear this up. A few years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I taught this lesson, and I was sharing. I said, and this is for those that are on here that have affiliation with mother being a minister, father being a minister, pastor, whatever it is, being candid. There's a time, and this is if you can get this, this is going to set you on the right path. My aunt, mom, dad, and they would tell you, was the bad child. Arrogant in a lot of ways and a lot of things, but wasn't a bad child. But the thing is that even though they were a spiritual authority, I was hearkening unto just them being my parents. And there's a big distinction, and when it is that I encounter the separation of understanding them being my parents and the spiritual authority or spiritual message that they may have that needs to be carried out, it brought about for me that separation. I told you this in time past, but for you, because you were here the first time, I'm going to represent this. Separation brings distinction and definition. You can't be in the same thing, doing the same thing, but saying that you're different. Um, it just would work. So we're in this place. So PKs, PCs, um, all of the above. I'm sharing this with you because after the spiritual message has been represented to me, it was brought back to my awareness. Then there was a transformation. Now, some of you may be looking at PKs, pastors' kids, or preachers' kids, preachers' children, and you may say that they are wicked, but they are no more wicked than any other child. The thing is that when it is that you judge them under your lens, what it is that you do, you're judging from a spiritual place the way that they should be. And most of the time, their interaction, most of the time with their parents, is just parental. Most of the time, they're not hearkening onto that spiritual message, so they can't receive it. So, if you're a pastor on here today, if you're a PK on here today, if you're a PC on here today, I'm asking you to let that message be represented to you. That message of transformation, that message of change. And you will see that metamorphosis. You will experience it. It's beautiful. Um, are you going to be perfect? You can be in Christ. You can be. But is it expected? It's only expected of you by others. When they slip and fall, it's oopsie. I did a poopsie, and please understand my indiscretion, and please understand when it's to you, but when it's to them, but as it pertains to you, sinner, judgment, and so on. So, in the representing, I'm asking parents, I'm asking even myself, I will have to deal with matters from a different perspective because there's a different understanding. Now, it is so amazing that these three things that I told you about, and let me read you it down. First, selfishness lead the mass to impending doom. A selfless act is redemptive and posterity assuring. Not even ensuring, but assuring you can take that to the bank of promise. And you could go withdraw it in time. You can also see here that I said that's one. And then I said that erringly familiarizing yourself with my physical characteristics that you miss my spiritual maturation or even maturation in other place, maturity, where truth is absolute, reasoning and choice becomes relevant. Hold on to these things. So as I represent myself and you represent yourself, somebody may say that I don't need to because my first um, impression, the first introduction, the first time I went out, I did well. Well, I said, if it is that you did, great. And kudos to you. But all of us aren't like you. So there's a representing, one, of ourselves, then secondly, of the message. Thirdly, not only the message, but the purpose or intent. We are given a mandate to help others. We're given a mandate to help others. Our concept, preconceived notion based on our experiences will cause us to have a preset way or mindset to deal with people, especially if it is that they would have hurt you, especially if it is that you don't know them, especially if it is that person that was doing a representing. Because remember, in representing, it does not negate the fact that things were done prior. Now, the things of yesterday can be just that. It can be your past, in which all things are past to be. Today, all things have become new. It can be that. Or it could be that you're strong enough to endure or go through what today has in store for you, but still want to go back. Not even yours, but to pick up something for someone else that you can recall and take that around with you. Now, if you're that strong, and once again, kudos to you. As I said, if you don't need to represent yourself, kudos to you. But most of us do. Most of us need to represent ourselves. Most of us will have to also put out again the purpose, the true intent that we hear. So I told you that if I were to start here with anything, I would say let us represent that which is absolute. That which is absolute encompass all power. That which is absolute encompass all knowing. That which is absolute encompass everything. So it's everywhere. That's the God. That's what we say. He's omnipresent, he's omnipotent, and he's omniscient. That's what we said. Even in science, those of science buff know that we deal with space, matter, and time. Space, matter, and time. Space, matter, and time. We deal with that. Now, even that is being covered by that which is absolute, the God that I serve. Now, as I'm speaking to you, as I represent Him, I am hoping that if it is that you would have had a misconception of Him, and even if it is that you still do, that we can, over time, eradicate that. All the knowledge I've heard people say, go back to this book, this was written by this person. I'm saying, that's fine. We, I'm not here to try to debate anyone or try to, I don't know why I like to put stuff in my hand. Excuse me, please, let me take a sip. Thank you. I can put, no, no, squeeze that stuff up. It's just a bad habit. I need to represent myself. I need to eradicate that. Um, so, yes, we, where was I? I want to make sure. Yes, I'm talking about the God that I serve. I said that He encompasses time, space, and matter. Tells us that in the beginning, there's time, created matter, heaven, space, earth, matter, everything. It's right there. And some of us will go back and say, oh, well, this was taken from there and that was taken from there. I'm stating, not here to say that I'm a scholar in any of that. But with everything that everybody knows, and everybody, right now, everybody has a forum. I guess somebody would, come on and say, oh, that was young, what you can say to me? Just because they probably would have missed my real introduction. And that's where it is you recognize that I can say a lot to you. Now, not only familiarity or familiarizing yourself with my physical characteristics, that you will miss my spiritual maturation. Also, you will miss the things that you could have received. Because familiarity also not only breeds contempt, but it's the incubator, I would say, of ignorance. When it is that you meet someone and they may want to tell you something, they may want to share something with you. They may want to share something with you, and you start off saying that you know. Now, this could have been something that is going to be a little bit different, slant, something that you could learn from, something that you could take a nugget from, or so. But you know, and what that person will do is just leave you there in that state of ignorance. And you want to know why it is that we're in this position, because then again selfishness comes in, and this is what I am, this is what and this is how it's going to be. And none of us are looking at the problems. None of us are looking at the solution. And no, because we're not looking at the problem, none of us can find, or any of us can find a solution. I'm here and I'm sharing, I'm telling you some things, presenting to you in represent the absolute. But that which is absolute now has expressed himself in this manner, love. Now, it's not Christmas. It is not. It is not. It's not Valentine for those that believe in that. I have no problem with you if you do, and I don't worry with this. It's just that I just wanted to make a distinction. Um, and so yes, express to you that which is absolute. You can look it up and you can recognize that cannot be diminished, cannot be augmented or added to. You can take away from it. It's complete. And if you could find anything else that is complete in itself, with all power, all knowledge, and being everywhere, yet still anywhere, then let's stop. That's a place that we definitely would need to talk. I wish I knew how to do this one thing that I could have probably see if it is that I can get somebody on. If I can get somebody on here with me. Check one more time. Let me see. Let me see. All right. Am I on? Can you guys see me? No, wait off a minute. All right. Uh, I'm gonna just see there are a couple of things that I wanted to do. Let me see if it is that I can get them done. Uh, okay. Okay. All right. So for those that are on, let me reiterate. So now we recognize time, space, and matter. As I said, now he encompasses everything. Because he encompasses everything, and this is God that I'm talking about, I am asking you, in this represent, will you accept him? Will you take him to be Lord, Master, Adonai of your life? Now, if you are going to do so, then I'm very much grateful and I'm thankful because I'm presenting to you now that which is life. Now, that which is life gives us something that is beautiful. The Bible tells us in the book of Genesis, the third chapter, that there was a man who would have disobeyed, and uh, disobedience, the precursor of everything that is error, the precursor of everything. Well, if you want to live a life of defeat, then this is where it is that it comes, especially from an authoritative place, a dictum place, one that has the authority. That's the thing. See, it would have been different if it were someone else that would have given the instruction, but the instruction came from that which is all powerful, all knowing, and is everywhere. So the thing is, that which is powerful, not that which is powerful, that which was given to you in terms of an instruction is coming. It's so funny that we will go to a library and we will take that information and we will take that information to be one authentic. We will take that information that we can use that information anywhere. We will take that information, one that if it is that we were to use it, then we're going to be in the right place. But then I am presenting to you someone greater than the library who is all powerful, omnipotent, who is all knowing, omniscient, who is also everywhere, omnipresent. And yet still someone would say that they have no place for that. I can't stop you from there. But Genesis tells me that this God that would have given me an opportunity for a second chance that I told you about. Without him, I am nothing. If you see me acting, listen, I'm sitting here. I was blessed to share with two young men a week ago, and kids that grew up in ministry, um, you know, and experience in the things of going to church, but yet still was able to have an opportunity to talk with them. And this is what happened. One of the young men said that he was so blessed by this, and I'm not gloating in this, I'm just sharing this with us. He was so blessed because the information that he received, now he can go look at things from a different perspective. And that's what we call the representing of the absolute one. Hallelujah. The representing of God. Um, Now, why someone don't want to hear about him, why someone don't want to deal with him, it may have been because of the way that he was presented. The funny thing is that if somebody were to tell you that if you really wanted this car, or somebody was to tell you that somebody pooped in it but it was clean, you would still go take it because that is important to you. But when it is that it comes to certain things, I was sharing with one of my teachers, and I said, it's funny. Only in the aspect of spirituality or Christendom, in this case, church, you would have not calling anyone the janitor, but you would have someone who understands their position in the secular world. Let's say that they're a custodian, and so they're responsible for the cleaning and stuff of the environment. You will never see that person going sitting in the CEO seat. You will never see that person going on the jet and say that this it was a mistake. But that same person will do the same thing in Christendom and and think it's okay and think it's all right to do these things. I'm saying, we're representing. Let us understand not only our position, but our areas of function. Because I need you, you need me. And if we all but come together, you remember what I said? Selfishness lead the mass to an impending doom. We don't want to be in doomsday. We don't want to be a part of the doomsday experience. But we want to be that which is fortified so strong together. And we recognize that the selfless act, somebody say, no, I'll do this. I'll step out. Like I'm stepping out here. If you know me, yes, I'm stepping out here to be what it is that I was called to be in this represent. In this represent. So that which is good, gracious in everything. Genesis 1:26 said that we were created in the image, endowed with every single thing. Nothing was lacking. In Genesis, now look at the presentation, and that's where we have to be careful. In this represent, we have to also be careful. We have to be careful that in this society, we have to be able to come together, not only educationally, not only medically, because if we're dependent on anyone to supply any of this for us as a society that is separated, a society that wants to fix a problem, a society that wants to look at things from a different perspective, a society that will come together, not dependent on a specific individual, but us coming together and understanding this, then our schooling would be our priority. I'm, I don't want to say I'm tired, but it's very nonsensical of us in this representing to send the kids out into an environment not well prepared or an environment that would tell them everything that you would have taught them. It's so funny. You send them to an environment that would corrupt that mindset, that would change it. and pervert it, and then asking them to come back in the same way that you sent them. So I said these things. One, your schooling. Secondly, your your healthcare system. Thirdly, a banking situation. Um, so fourthly, your food. And lastly, the most important one that we sometimes tend to bypass is the media. This place that now gives a message. Why it is that this is important? No, everything that you wanted was endowed. You were endowed with it. It was given to you. Everything, everyone that is on here tonight, everyone that is part of this representing, everyone that is here now to say like, I want to represent myself. And if we can do one thing before we get off here, is literally, as I'm going to say, I am Sion. You can now introduce yourself. If it is that you can leave your name on the chat, if you can leave where you're from, and if you want to be contacted, so then I probably would have been familiar with you in a previous time in a different dispensation, but now there's a maturation, and that maturation and that person is the person or the individual that I would like to know. Likewise, it may be you. So let's take this opportunity to properly reintroduce ourselves. Now, why it is that I'm stating this? Because you will see now in Genesis chapter 3, it was said that which was full, everything that was given, is now being presented as being petty, is now being presented as one that is jealous. In the day, this is the reason that you can't eat. In the day that you do, and that's sometimes how it is that we look at things. People are telling us you can't do this, you shouldn't do that, and they just want to tell me what to do. They want to control me. But what about if it is that not in the way of God where it is that He's omnipresent, not in the way of God where it is that He is omniscient, not in the way of God where it is He's all powerful, but just because of experience. And that's what maturity is. Maturity has nothing to do with your age, even though your age aids in your maturity. But then you will see that that it has nothing in itself to really encompass what we call a maturity age, because you could be 40 but yet still lacking experience in something. So the apex of maturity actually is your experiences. So the experience, because of an experience, I can tell you, do not do that. And how it is that I know that you shouldn't, because if you do, someone that did it, this is what happened to them. And I've seen it over and over again. So I'm telling you, out of experience, that I don't need you to do that. So when it is that you were told not to, it wasn't because I didn't love you. It wasn't because that I was jealous of you. It's because I'm knowledgeable of the outcome. Because I'm knowledgeable of the outcome, I'm imparting to you, I'm asking you not to do this. Now, nice. And let me bring this down right here. Love, 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 love. I'm gonna, for the next, I guess, 3 weeks, I'm gonna touch on this, share on this bit. Now, don't kill me, because this is where we start. Remember, we're representing. And this is the first. You're writing, you can pen this. Love is the ultimate black hole. Remember, I told you about time and space? Love is the ultimate black hole. Not even hate can escape its point of singularity. Love is the ultimate black hole. Not even hate can escape its point of singularity. That which is absolute is absolute. That which is absolute, you cannot take away from it. cannot add to it. That which is absolute is full. So I'm telling you here, love is the ultimate black hole. Privilege to say this now. Some of you probably can't. It says here, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it is not rude, it is not self seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoice in the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves. 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Wow. Love is the ultimate black hole. Let me represent our misconception. At least let's start with this. Some of us say that love hurts, but when we understand what love is, who love is, and because who love is, the characteristic of that person, we recognize that love is absolute. Love is the ultimate black hole, because there are many, but the ultimate black hole. Let me tell you what a black hole does. A black hole is this phenomena in space. Uh, it says huge as galaxies, but when you encounter a black hole, or I you some say they can actually take up a galaxy. But when you encounter a black hole, there's a point that you call that point of no return. So you go in there, you could be messing around, and that's the thing. That's the stuff we love. Sometimes we mess around on the outside, and all manner of things happen. But a black hole has the ability to take that which is enormous in size, that which is gigantic, that hurt, that pain, that mm, misconception, that deception, that thing that was so wrong in your life. The black hole has the ability, and this is what we're talking about love. The black hole will take that thing that is so enormous and will shrink it into a place where it is that you can't even see it. But even if it is that you were to see it, it becomes so dense, so heavy that you can't even lift it. That's the one that is absolute that I'm presenting to you here tonight. That's the one that is love. My Bible tells me, I don't know if it is that you can find anything else. My Bible tells me that we as beloved, we should love one another because love is of God and anyone that loveth is born of God. 1 John 4:7 and 8. Anyone that loveth is born of God. He that loveth not knoweth not God, because God is love. So we are encouraged to love one another. Why? God has the ability that everything, and I know that, as I said, in the representing, I can't diminish who I am. And I don't want you to run away because you start saying it's another sermon. This is a message where it is that I'm hoping that it will be developed in such a way that we can actually be able to communicate from time to time. And if you're willing, listen, if you're on here tonight and you're willing, please just put your name and your information there. So the next time I'm on, I can invite you. I can invite you on. So this is it. When it is that you come, it says love is patient, it is kind, it does not remember wrong, it's not easily angered. And there's so many things we attribute love to be. And it's our, and this is another, but I don't want to touch on that as yet because I would have stated this in time past. We're stating this, that love has the ability to take it taken. So when you go to that point, event horizon, and you get to that point, there's a place where it is that you can't escape. The pull is so great, so it sucks you in. So when you get in that proximity of love, love has the way of drawing you in. Even hatred, and that's why I said, as I said, even on here today, somebody may pass to see my face, as I said. Somebody may pass to see the program, and somebody will say, "Oh, I don't want no part of this." I know him, or I know them, or whatever. And but I want you to know that the love that is present here on tonight, that even hate can't escape it. So even if it is that you come with your hatred, the love has the ability now to take it in. And if someone who is from the Hateville crew comes looking for it, it is so tiny that they can't really see it. And if they were to see it, it is so heavy that they can't pick it up. So it tells me here of that welding that is absolute, that I'm representing to you, has the ability to tell me all the situation, everything that is errant, everything that went bad. I can tell you I'm presenting, and you can tell me of something else that you know that can do the same. You can actually make a presentation, and not to debate, but we can have a conversation in this the represent. I'm so thrilled that you would have joined me today. I can't tell who is on. I need to work these things out just a little bit more. And this is the first of many, I'm hoping, by God's grace. So thankful. I'm thrilled that you would have taken your time off to be in this place on tonight. And I want you to be blessed beyond measures. I want you to enjoy the fullness that has been given to you. I want you to have this life that has been given to you, and I want it to be to for you to have it, and I want you to have the fullness of it, because that's the promise. The life, you're no longer a slave to things that are fearful, but a presentation of a solution is here for you on tonight. Now, if everyone here on tonight understands the represent, I want to ask you to to make a special effort. First of all, my social, if everyone that is on here tonight, I'm asking you, I'm imploring you, want to share this broadcast. Secondly, I'm asking you to like, comment, share, but most of all to subscribe. There are two channels. There's the Sila, sorry, still Sila in my head. I still do have that too, but we're not focusing on that part on tonight. Um, we're focusing on Sealy Music, SEALEYMUZIK on YouTube. If you can find that channel and you can subscribe, you can share to everyone, I'll be appreciative. And there is Sion Sealy, COW series of him. You can put that in, and that's my other YouTube channel where it is that you can now join me in Bible studies and so on. Both channels are on tonight, and I'm asking if it is that you can like, share, and subscribe. This would help to grow this channel and grow the medium that we can, or that environment that we can now reach more people. Now, as I said, if you would have enjoyed this, I bless you on tonight, and I'm thankful that you would have taken the time to join me. So let us represent. Let us represent. Now, remember, as I told you, why it is that I'm saying that we may not be in a position to represent, because there is no weakness in that which we are representing. There is no weakness in that which we are representing. In ourselves, we will find our weaknesses, and those problems we will seek a solution together. Now, you're loved by me, and I would quote my mama. And she was saying, listen, I love you, and I know that you love me too. Whether you do or not, I know that you love me too. I'm not ignorant of what it is that's going on out there, so I'm not singing all here kumbaya. Yeah. But I want you to understand that I know what it is that we're going through, and we're going to get through this together. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And you've been a part of the Represent. I hope that you had a good evening with me, Sion.